Hello everyone. I'm going to talk about horn phrasing today. Okay, horns. They are the building blocks of jazz because there's some history there, but I don't want to get into it too much. Basically, after the World Wars, horns were cheap and it was easily found after the army bands broke up. So they were easy to get to. So a lot of people picked them up and, joined the jazz and swing tradition. If you look at the jazz history, even starting from Louis Armstrong, horns are the main building blocks of jazz history. So what are we going to talk about? What do we mean by horns? I mean, we could talk about a lot of things, but there are a few things. Actually, I'm going to focus on two things that makes phrasing very different, especially on scat singing vocals, guitar phrasing. My teacher, Billy Harper, told me when I was at the learning stage to copy horn players, because if I copied guitar players, it would be more distinctive. Phrasing, I would sound like them. So anyway, the way they place their legato, when they tongue and when they play legato. On guitar, to replicate that, you would have to use the pick and legato on certain times, especially if you want to be more specific. We want to pick the notes on one end, we want to get onto the downbeat with legato. So on end, two end, three end, that kind of swinging, uplifting emphasis on the ends, not on the downbeat. So that's what the horn players did a lot. They tongued the note on end, got onto downbeat with legato. So let's see an example. I'll show you examples of this. One regular and one with the horn phrasing. All right, let's check out our first example. What if we play this with picking on ends and going to downbeat with legato? Let's hear the example like that then. As you can see, it makes a big difference. So how can you practice this? That technique is called pick slur, and I was first introduced to this from Kerry Denigris. He pointed out that I could study pick slur, meaning picking on the ends and slurring to the downbeat. It takes a bit practicing to be able to do that, but it makes a big difference in phrasing. Let's hear another example. This time I'm gonna use bebop dominant scale. What is bebop scale? Let me just shortly tell you what that is. Bebop scale is the same as a mixolydian with one extra note. Between the flat 7 and the root, if you're going down, you add another chromatic approach, which is the major 7. So root, major 7th, flat 7, and then go down to regular mixolydians. Let's check out our example. Let's check out the same line with horn phrasing like legato. It totally changes the phrasing. You may not be able to arrange the timing of pick slurs. We need to pick on one end, two end, all on the ends. Go to downbeat with legato. So if you can't arrange the time, you can pick more notes and use less legato. But whenever you can use legato or even slide. Check out this line. You'll know what I'm talking about. Here's a minor 2/5 line. I'll play it both ways, regular and with legato. Now check out the same line with horn phrasing. It's going to be exactly the same, but there's going to be slides and slurs. If you do this long enough, you can incorporate this technique into your playing and imitate horns. Or if you're a horn player, you can arrange your phrasing, when to tongue a note, when to play legato, because it makes a big difference for swing. Alright, there's another thing that horn players do. If they run out of range, if they can't get any higher, they go on the same line from an octave below. On the other side, if they're going down, their range is finished, then they fold the octave one octave above. I'll give you a very simple example. Let's hear these two different phrases. Simple 2-5-1. Okay, the same phrase, instead of going D, F, A, C all the way up, after D, it goes on with F, but one octave lower. Alright, these were very simple examples. What happens, we combine these two. I'll play you two examples. One of them is regular. The second one is going to skip an octave. Now, check out what we did by skipping an octave. Okay, great. So, what did we do in this lesson? We learned two things. Tonguing or picking on ends and going to downbeat with legato to imitate horns, horn phrasing. The other one we did was skipping the octave. To change the flow of the line. Okay? It's good to know both of these techniques and use them because it creates a different sound and it's widely used in bebop. I'm sure you must have heard all of these examples in some way, but you just didn't study it. So here are the examples. You can study it and you can incorporate it in your playing. That wraps it up for this week. This is the end of our horn phrasing video. You guys have a nice day.